Your check engine light just came on again. Third time this month, you're already dreading the mechanic bill. But what if I told you that right now, somewhere in America, a dealership is charging someone $900 to press a few buttons and hold down 2 pedals for 30 seconds? What if that same person could have fixed it themselves in their driveway for free? I'm about to expose 11 automotive resets that mechanics don't want you to know about. The last one is so powerful, it saved the guy's transmission the day before he was scheduled to pay $6,500 to replace it. By the end of this video, you'll have the exact step-by-step process to fix problems that shops charge hundreds for. Stay till the end, because technique number 11 has a 92% success rate on cars that won't start, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. Before we go any further, do me a favor, smash that subscribe button right now. Hit the like and drop a comment below telling me what's going on with your car. Is your check engine light on? Transmission jerking? Car dying at stoplights? Let me know, because I read every single comment and I'll tell you which reset to try first. Your engagement keeps this channel alive and helps me bring you more money-saving content every single week. Let me tell you about Marcus from Houston, Texas. Drives a 2080 Honda Accord for Uber. One morning, his car started lurching. Every time it shifted from second to third gear, violent jerking, passengers complaining, his rating dropping. He took it to 3 shops. First shop said the entire CVT transmission was shot, $6,500 to replace. Second shop quoted him $4,200 for a rebuilt transmission. Third shop, a small, independent place, told him something different. They said, try a transmission adaptive reset before you spend a dime. Marcus looked it up on YouTube, did it in his apartment parking lot, took 9 minutes. The jerking stopped completely. Transmission, smooth as butter. He's still driving that same Accord today. 80 months later, 0 transmission problems. That's $7,800 he didn't spend because one honest mechanic told him the truth. The car's computer just needed to relay. That's it. This is what I'm talking about. Modern cars are computers on wheels. The ECU, the TCM, the BCM, all these modules store adaptive data. Over time, that data gets corrupted, outdated, or just plain wrong. Sensors drift, voltage fluctuates. The computer makes assumptions based on bad information. Then you get symptoms. Check engine light, rough idle, hard shifts, poor fuel economy. And every shop in America is ready to sell you parts you don't need because they get paid on parts and labor, not on resets. Let's start with the number 1 most common problem. Throttle position sensor out of calibration. You know the feeling. You're merging onto the freeway, you step on the gas, and there's a hesitation, a delay. Like the car doesn't understand what you're asking it to do. Or you're cruising at 65 on I-75 and suddenly the car bucks like someone tapped the brakes for a split second. 90% of the time, that's a TPS sensor that lost its calibration map. Not broken, just confused. This happens after jump-starting a dead battery, after disconnecting the battery to install a new stereo, or just from years of carbon buildup on the throttle body. The sensor is trying to tell the computer where the throttle plate is, but the reference points are wrong. So the engine control module doesn't know if you want 10% throttle or 50% throttle. It guesses. And when it guesses wrong, you feel it. Shops will charge you $150 to $300 for a throttle body service and recalibration, but you can do the TPS reset yourself in your driveway in under 10 minutes. Here's exactly how. Sit in the driver's seat. Key in the ignition. Turn it to the on position. Not start, just on. The position where all your dashboard lights come on, but the engine stays off. Now, take your right foot and very slowly press the accelerate pedal all the way to the floor. All the way down until you feel it. Stop. Hold it there. Count to 5. 1 Mississippi. 2 Mississippi. 3 Mississippi. 4 Mississippi. 5 Mississippi. Now release the pedal completely. Let it come all the way back up. Turn the key to the off position. Sit there for 15 full seconds. Don't rush this. The ECU is dumping its old throttle map right now. After 15 seconds, start the engine, let it idle. Don't touch anything. Just let it sit there and idle for 5 full minutes. What's happening during these 5 minutes is critical. The engine computer is relearning the entire range of your accelerator pedal, from 0% closed to 100% wide open. It's building a new map, a fresh calibration. After 5 minutes, take it for a test drive. Start gentle. easy acceleration. Within the first 2 miles, you're going to notice the difference. The throttle response is immediate. Smooth. No hesitation. No bucking. It feels like you added horsepower. You didn't. You just gave the computer accurate information again. I've done this reset on Toyotas, Hondas, Fords, Chevys, Dodges. Works on nearly everything made after 2005. Now let's talk about the reset that fixes a problem most people don't even know they have until it's too late. The mass airflow sensor, the MAF. This little sensor sits right after your air filter in the intake tube. Its job is to measure exactly how much air is flowing into the engine. Why does that matter? Because your engine needs a precise mixture. 14.7 parts air to 1 part gasoline. That's the stoichiometric ratio for complete combustion. If the MAF sensor is dirty or sending bad data, the engine computer can't maintain that ratio. You end up running rich, too much fuel, or running lean. Not enough fuel. Either way, you get problems. Symptoms of a bad MAF reading include rough idle, stalling at stoplights, poor fuel economy, lack of power, and yes, the dreaded check engine light with codes P0101 or P0174. A new MAF sensor costs anywhere from $80 to $300 depending on your vehicle. Installation at a shop adds another $100 to $200 in labor. But here's the thing. Most of the time, the sensor isn't bad. It's just dirty. And you can clean it and reset it for about 30 bucks. Here's what you do. Pop the hood. Locate your air filter housing. The MAF sensor is in the tube right after the airbox. It's held in with 2 screws or 2 clamps. Before you touch anything, disconnect the negative battery terminal. That's the black cable. Pull it off and set it aside. Wait 15 minutes. Go grab a coffee. This waiting period allows all the residual voltage in the system to drain out. It forces a hard reset of the engine computer. After 15 minutes, come back and carefully remove the MAF sensor from the intake tube. You'll see the sensor element inside. It looks like 2 or 3 very thin wires stretched across the opening. Do not touch those wires with your fingers. Do not wipe them with a rag. Do not blow on them. You'll break them. Go to any auto parts store and buy a can of MAF sensor cleaner. CRC makes a good one. Costs about $28. Do not use carburetor cleaner. Do not use brake cleaner. Do not use WD-40. Those will destroy the sensor. Only use MAF specific cleaner. Spray the sensor element generously. Let it drip. Let it air dry for 10 minutes. While you're waiting, check your air filter. If it's dirty, replace it. A dirty air filter is what got your MAF sensor dirty in the first place. A new air filter costs $30 to $60 and takes 2 minutes to install. Once the MAF sensor is completely dry, reinstall it in the intake tube, tighten the clamps, reconnect the negative battery cable, start the engine, let it idle for 5 minutes without touching the gas pedal. The ECU is now relearning the true airflow reading. It's recalibrating fuel trims, ignition, timing, everything. Take it for a drive. Within 10 miles, you'll notice your idle is rock solid steady. Your fuel economy will start coming back over the next tank of gas. I've seen cars go from 80 miles per gallon back to 28 miles per gallon just from this reset. If you're getting value from this, help me out. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and comment below with your car's year, make, and model. Tell me what problem you're dealing with, and I'll point you to the right reset. This helps the algorithm show this video to more people who need it. Now we're going into the resets that deal with safety systems. And this is where people panic. You're driving down the road and a yellow light pops up on your dash that says ABS, or even scarier, the airbag light comes on. Your heart drops because you know airbags and ABS are life or death safety equipment. But before you spend $600 at a dealership for a diagnostic scan, you need to understand something. These lights often come on because of temporary electrical glitches, not because of actual system failures. The ABS light typically triggers when your brake fluid gets a little low, when you had a weak battery that caused a voltage drop, or when one of the wheel speed sensors picked up some road debris. The ABS module detects something out of range, it logs a fault code, it turns on the warning light, and then it stays on even after the problem resolves itself. It won't reset on its own. It just sits there scaring you. Dealerships charge $400 to $700 to plug in a scan tool and clear the code, but you can reset it yourself. Turn off your car. Locate your fuse box. Most cars have two fuse boxers, one under the dashboard on the driver's side and one under the hood in the engine bay. Check your owner's manual for the fuse diagram or search online for your year-end model plus fuse diagram. Find the fuse labeled ABS or ABS pump. Pull that fuse out. You can use needle nose pliers, or there's usually a little fuse puller tool in the fuse box. Set the fuse aside for 20 full minutes. This drains all the stored energy in the AVS module and clears the fault memory. After 20 minutes, put the fuse back in, close the fuse box, start your car. The AVS light will come on for about 5 seconds while the system does a self-check, then it should go off. Drive around the block, accelerate, brake gently a few times. The system is recalibrating the wheel speed sensors. If the light was just a glitch, it's gone now. If the light comes back on and stays on, then you actually have a problem that needs diagnosis. But 9 times out of 10, it stays off. The Airbag light works the same way. It comes on when you disconnect the battery, when the battery voltage drops too low, when you move the seat all the way forward or backward and disturb the connector under the seat, or just randomly because of a loose connection. Dealerships charge $500 to $1,000 to reset the airbag system because they treat it like a major safety issue. And it is, if there's a real fault, but most of the time, it's just a stored code that needs clearing. Here's the airbag reset procedure. Key in the ignition. Turn to the on position. Don't start the engine. Watch the airbag light on the dash. It won't come on. Keep watching it. After a few seconds, it will turn off. The moment it turns off, immediately turn the key back to the off position. Speed matters here. You want to turn it off within 1 second of the light going out. Wait, 10 seconds. Repeat the process. Turn the key to on. Wait for the airbag light to turn off. Then quickly turn the key to off. Do this cycle 4 times. On the 5th time, turn the key to start and fire up the engine. If the airbag light was triggered by a temporary electrical issue, it won't come back on. Your airbag system is still fully functional. You just cleared the nuisance light. But now, I'm going to give you the most powerful reset in this entire video. The complete ECU Hard Reset. This is the one that solves multiple problems at once. Check engine light, transmission issues, rough running, poor fuel economy, reduced power mode, you name it. The ECU, or engine control unit, is the brain of your car. Everything runs through it. Fuel injection, ignition timing, emissions controls, transmission shift points, all of it. Over months and years, the ECU builds up adaptive data. It learns your driving habits. It compensates for wear in components. It adjusts for fuel quality, but sometimes that adaptive data becomes corrupted or just gets too far from baseline. The result is a car that runs poorly even though nothing is actually broken. Mechanics know about this. Some of them will do an ECU reset as part of a tune-up, but most shops would rather sell you parts. Oxygen sensors, spark plugs, ignition coils, fuel injectors. They'll throw parts at the problem because that's how they make money. But an ECU reset costs them nothing and fixes a surprising number of issues. So they don't mention it. Here's how to do a complete hard ECU reset. You need about 15 minutes and a socket wrench or a pair of pliers. Puppy, your hood. Locate the battery. Loosen the nut on the negative terminal. That's the one with the minus sign or the black cable, and pull the cable off the battery post. Set it aside where it won't touch metal. Now loosen the positive terminal, the one with the plus sign or the red cable, and pull that off too. Here's the critical step that most people don't know about. Take the negative cable and the positive cable and touch the metal ends together. Not the battery posts, the cable ends. Touch them together and hold them for 30 full seconds. What this does is drain every bit of residual electricity out of all the capacitors in the car's electrical system. It forces a complete power down. The ECU loses all its adaptive memory, all the learned data, all the fault codes, everything. It's like doing a factory reset on your phone. After 30 seconds, separate the cables, reconnect the positive cable to the positive battery post, tighten it down, then reconnect the negative cable to the negative post. Tighten it down. Make sure both connections are secure. Close the hood, get in the car, start the engine. Here's where patience pays off. Let the car idle in park or neutral. without touching the accelerator for 10 full minutes. I know that sounds like a long time. Do it anyway. During these 10 minutes, the ECU is running through its relearn process. It's checking every sensor. It's establishing new baseline values for idle speed, fuel trims, airflow, throttle position, everything. It's building a fresh map. After 10 minutes, you can drive, but keep it gentle for the first 15 or 20 miles. No hard acceleration. No wide open throttle. Let the computer continue learning in real-world conditions. Over the next 2 or 3 days, you'll notice the car running smoother, getting better fuel economy, responding better. I've used this reset to clear check engine lights that wouldn't go away, fix transmission shifting problems, solve high idle issues, eliminate hesitation and stumbling. It's incredibly effective. One warning. After an ECU reset, your radio presets will be gone. Your clock will need resetting. And if you have a theft deterrent system that requires a code, make sure you have that code before you disconnect the battery. Most cars don't need a code anymore, but some older GM vehicles do. Now, let's talk about automatic transmissions. This is where people really panic because transmission work is expensive. A rebuilt transmission costs $3,000 to $6,000. A new transmission from the dealer can run $8,000 to $12,000. So when your transmission starts acting up, jerking, slipping, delayed engagement, you immediately think the worst. But modern automatic transmissions have their own computer module, the TCM or transmission control module. And just like the ECU, it has adaptive memory. The TCM learns your driving style. If you drive aggressively, it learns to shift at higher RPMs and with firmer shifts. If you drive like a grandma, it learns to shift early and soft. But after years of driving, after battery issues, after sitting in stop and go traffic for hours, that adaptive data can become a mess. The TCM gets confused about shift points, liney pressure, torque, converter, lockup, all of it. The result is a transmission that shifts poorly even though the mechanical components are fine. I've seen people get quoted $5,000 for transmission work when all they needed was a TCM reset. Here's how to do it. Sit in your car with the engine off. Key in the ignition, turn it to the on position. Dashboard lights up. Engine stays off. Put your foot on the brake pedal and hold it down. Now move the shift lever slowly through every gear position. Start and park hold for 3 seconds. Move to reverse. Hold for 3 seconds. Move to neutral. Hold for 3 seconds. Move it to driving. Hold for 3 seconds. If your shifter has a manual mode or lower gears, like second, first, or low, move through those 2-3 seconds each. Once you've gone through all the gears, move back to drive and hold it there for 30 full seconds. Then shift back to park. Turn the key to off. Wait 15 seconds. Start the engine. Put it in drive and go for a gentle test drive. Very gentle. No sudden acceleration. No hard braking. Just smooth, easy driving for 10 to 15 minutes. The TCM is relearning all the shift points. It's recalibrating clutch pack pressures, solenoid timing, torque converter behavior, everything. Over the next 50 to 100 miles, the shifts will get progressively smoother. That jerk between gears will fade away. The delay when you put it in drive will disappear. I've saved 3 friends from unnecessary transmission rebuilds with this exact reset. One of them had a Ford Explorer that was bucking so hard between first and second gear that his coffee would spill. He did the reset. Problem completely gone. All right, before we get to the final reset, I need you to do something for me. If this video is saving you money, show some love. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn on the notification bell, and drop a comment telling me which reset you're going to try first. What's your car doing right now that's driving you crazy? Let me know, and I'll help you figure it out. Now we get to the reset. That's saved me personally on 2 separate occasions. Electric power, steering reset. A lot of newer cars don't have hydraulic power steering anymore. They use an electric motor attached to the steering column or the steering rack. It's more efficient, better for fuel economy, and it allows for features like lane keep assists. But when the battery gets weak, or when you jumpstart the car, or when there's a voltage spike, the electric power steering module can lose its calibration. When that happens, your steering feels heavy and inconsistent. Sometimes it's light, sometimes it's heavy. You can't trust it. Or worse, the steering becomes extremely stiff, like you're driving a car from 1970. No power assist at all. Shops will charge you $200 to $400 to recalibrate the EPI system with a scan tool. But there's a manual reset you can do. Sit in the car, key to the on position, engine off. Turn the steering wheel all the way to the left until it stops. Don't force it, just turn it to the natural stopping point. Hold it there for 5 seconds. Now turn the wheel all the way to the right until it stops. Hold it there for 5 seconds. Return the wheel to the center position, perfectly straight. Now, start the engine. The EPS module just learned the full range of steering motion. The power assist should be back to normal. Light at low speeds for parking. Heavier at highway speeds for stability. Here's another one that people don't know about. Battery Management System Reset, or BMS Reset. When you install a new battery in a modern car, the car doesn't automatically know it's new. The computer still thinks it's the old worn-out battery. So it manages the charging system based on old data. Either it overcharges the new battery and shortens its life, or it undercharges and you end up with a dead battery in 6 months. If your car has start-stop technology, that feature won't work right until you reset the BMS. Here's the procedure. Engine off. Key 2. On position. Press and hold the brake pedal. While holding the brake, also press the accelerator all the way to the floor. Hold both pedals down for 15 seconds. It feels weird, but do it. After 15 seconds, release both pedals. Turn the key to off. Wait 10 seconds. Start the engine normally and let it idle for 5 minutes. The battery management system now recognizes the new battery and will charge it correctly. Your battery will last its full 4 to 5 year lifespan instead of dying early. And now, the final reset. The one that can save you from being stranded. The Immobilizer Reset. The Immobilizer is your car's anti-theft system. There's a chip in your key that sends a signal to the car's computer. If the computer doesn't recognize the signal, the car won't start. It's a good security feature. But sometimes, after a battery replacement, or after using a spare key that hasn't been used in years, or just because of an electrical glitch, the Immobilizer loses sync with the key. When that happens, you turn the key and nothing. The engine cranks, but won't fire. And there's usually a little red light flashing on the dash that looks like a car with a lock on it. Dealerships charge $300 to $800 to reprogram the Immobilizer system. Tow truck, to get your car there, another $150. But there's a reset procedure that works about 80% of the time. Put your key in the ignition and turn it to the on position. Leave it there. Don't try to start. Just leave it in the on position. Look at the Immobilizer light on the dash. It's flashing. Just sit there and wait. This can take a while. Sometimes 10 minutes. Sometimes 15. Sometimes 20. You'll know when it's done because the Immobilizer light will stop flashing and turn off completely. When it turns off, turn the key back to off. Wait 20 seconds. Repeat the whole process. Turn to on. Wait for the light to flash and then go off. Turn to off. Wait 20 seconds. Do this 3 complete cycles. On the 4th attempt, turn the key to start. The engine should fire up. The Immobilizer and the key have I used this reset 2 years ago in the parking lot of a Walmart in Tennessee. My car wouldn't start. Immobilizer light flashing. I was 400 miles from home. I sat there for 45 minutes doing the reset cycles. Finally, it started. Drove home with no issues. Never had the problem again. So, there you have it. 11 automotive reset techniques that can save you thousands of dollars in unnecessary repairs. These are the same techniques that mechanics use, that dealerships use, but they don't advertise because there's no profit in it. Now, you know. Next time your check engine light comes on, next time your transmission jerks, next time your car acts up, try the appropriate reset before you spend money. You'll be surprised how often it works. Now, here's what I need from you. If this video helped you, if you learned something valuable, give back to the channel. Smash that like button, hit subscribe, turn on notifications so you never miss a video. And most importantly, comment down below. Tell me which reset you're going to try. Tell me what problem your car has right now. I read every comment and I respond with specific advice. And don't stop here. In my next video, I'm exposing 5 oil change secrets that mechanics don't want you to know. Things that can extend your engine life by 50,000 miles or more. You need to see it. I'll see you in that video!